Good morning. Welcome to Mrs. Bell's Sweet Treats and More. This is my YouTube channel and it is so wonderful to be here today. Today we are walking into spring. Spring on the calendar isn't necessarily spring in temperature, but nevertheless, we know spring is going to win. I am glad to be with you today. Welcome to my new subscribers, those that are scrolling, and those who have been with me for a while. I am going to be making a cake today, which is my coconut poke cake. It is a simple recipe and it is box. It is a box, a doctored up box. Welcome, and I'm going to start. Excuse me. I cook what's on my shelf, those of you who follow me, and I was looking for a white cake. This will work for a white cake or a yellow cake. And if you want to make it from scratch, have at it. I am using a Pillsbury this time because I found Pillsbury on sale. I was out of my Duncan Hines. But any brand, we're not limited. And we shouldn't limit ourselves or our cooking. I am going to put together the recipe, and I'm using egg whites, but I'm using one egg yolk. If you want it to stay consistently all white, then by all means don't use the yolk, but I like the yolk the way it goes into the batter. And I'm following the basic recipe, adding my eggs, and I'm going to add butter. I've seen some wonderful cooks and they have many substitutes for butter. I'm using butter for this, and I'm going to stir this up and then I'll be back. I am back. And I wanted you to see how thick my batter is. Added the basic ingredients, the eggs, the butter, and the milk. And this is our batter, nice and thick. All right, I'm going to add my flavoring. I'm going to stir it in just a few minutes. Box cake tends to have its own flavor, and I like removing that. I'm going to add, I have some coconut that I had on hand. You don't have to add coconut. I'm adding it because I'm adding it to a white cake, and I want the coconut flavor, and I'm adding some vanilla. And my approximate ingredients will be in the link. And I'm going to stir in about a half a cup of coconut to help with that coconut flavor. And I've missed, but that's okay. All the coconut will be taken care of. I'm going to stir that in, and I'll be right back. Nice and thick. I'm going to add it to my pan. I want this bun style. I just like the way it looks. You can absolutely use a 9x13 or whatever pan you have. You're not limited to the pan sizes that I cook with. You use what you got. And I try to get all of it out. That's why I use the rubber spatula. It does help to do that. I hope your day is going well. And I hope that whatever's going on, I want to encourage you, you'll get through it. The The sun rises the next day, and it's amazing to me how many times in my life that I thought everything was coming to an end, as though the end was a bad thing. Some things need to come to an end. Well, I've got it here, and I'm going to pop it in the oven. Try to get some bubbles out, and I'll be back. Well, here's our cake out the oven, and I'm going to flip it so that I can poke it. It's a little warm. Ooh. I want to make sure it's loose. Taking it all out. Poke holes in it and continue till I get all the way around. Okay, I poked holes in my cake, and now I'm going to put together. Now, I want to let you know I had some vanilla frosting. This is a funfetti, but it's just the vanilla with the topping, which I'm not going to use for this cake. I'm going to save it for something else. I am going to put this into my blender, in my beater, and I'm going to whip this up. I'm just going to use about half of it. And I'm going to add vanilla, about a teaspoon of my coconut. And the cake is still hot. This is about a teaspoon and a half of my coconut. And I am going to take this and just spread it over the top of this cake. Now I'm going to work on this some more to add my True Whip. But I'm going to put this here while the cake is hot and just let it go over the top and allow it to drip into the cake, into those holes, to get that flavor inside. No biggie. Then I'll be back. Well, here we are. Here's the cake. And now that it's cooled, I'm going to add the rest of this frosting to my beater. I'm going to mix this together. I am so excited. It smells so good. And I'm going to add a little bit more vanilla because I added some more frosting to get that box frosting out. And I'm adding coconut. And for that, I'm going to add, before I add that, I'm going to add some True Whip. Let's switch this. Pull this over. It smells so good. And I'm not going to mix this hard because I want to hold on to that Cool Whip. Here's our cake. I frosted and topped it with some fresh, with a package of coconut. And here's our cake. And I have been nibbling on it, so ignore what I've been nibbling on. And I mixed the frosting. Together we can do this. I hope you get to make it. Reminds me of spring. I hope you get to enjoy it. Take care of yourself. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. You have a good one. Bye-bye.